Under a bruised gray sky, snow fell quietly on a forgotten country road, its solitude broken only by a single line of footprints stretching into the mist. The world seemed frozen in place, the silence unnaturally heavy. No breath, no wind, just the rhythmic pulse of falling snow whispering secrets of something unseen. Sheriff Calloway was the first to arrive, boots crunching into the pristine snow as his flashlight carved through the fog. The footprints were small, likely from a man, spaced evenly as if walking calmly. But what chilled him wasn't their depth or distance, it was how they simply stopped halfway down the road. The prints ended abruptly, mid-stride, as if their maker had evaporated into the freezing air. No sign of struggle, no turn in direction, and no drag marks. It wasn't a stumble or slip, something had erased the rest of the journey with surgical precision. Calloway squatted beside the last print, tracing its outline with a gloved finger. Melted edges hinted at warmth, recent movement, and yet the road beyond was untouched. He stood, scanning the forest line, feeling an invisible gaze pressing against the back of his neck. He called out into the whiteness, his voice vanishing almost instantly, swallowed by thick air. Something about the silence felt alive, watchful, reactive. The kind of silence that studies you before deciding what to do next. Locals claimed the road was cursed, a path where reality had thin seams. Old tales spoke of travelers who vanished there, leaving only their footprints as proof they once existed. Stories dismissed as folklore, until now, with frozen evidence beneath Calloway's boots. The sheriff radioed for backup, but the signal crackled endlessly. Static roared through his earpiece like distant whispers. He turned in circles, searching for the faint glow of civilization, but the landscape stretched endlessly, bleach white in every direction. Then came the soft crunch, footsteps behind him. He spun around, beam cutting through shadows, revealing only untouched snow. His breath fogged in the air, trembling. He wasn't alone. Something unseen mirrored his every move, perfectly synchronized. Sudden gust slammed against his coat, bringing with it the smell of iron, wet and old. He reached for his sidearm, the metal freezing to his touch. There was no logic to what he felt, just the raw certainty that reality had split open around him. Night fell faster than it should have. The sky went from gray to pitch within moments, swallowing colors and erasing the horizon. The footprints glimmered faintly, each indentation glowing for a heartbeat before dimming again, like fading signals from another world. Calloway followed them backward, thinking maybe he'd find where they began. But after 10 steps, his flashlight dimmed, and the edge of the beam showed only more emptiness. The prints seemed to rearrange themselves, no longer leading anywhere that made sense. He whispered to himself, counting each step, trying to ground his mind. The air vibrated faintly, like a low hum beneath reality's fabric. It was as if the snow itself was breathing, responding, aligning to some hidden rhythm. A flicker caught his eye, a cabin in the distance, faintly illuminated. Relief washed over him, and he trudged forward, desperate for warmth or explanation. But as he approached, the shape dissolved, breaking apart like smoke caught in slow motion. Confusion clawed at him. He stopped, checked his watch, it was gone. His wrist was bare, his gloves missing. Even his own footprints vanished behind him, erased perfectly in real time, as if reality was pulling itself back into alignment. Panic bloomed as he realized he could no longer hear his own breath. The world around him had muted completely, no sound, no crunch of snow beneath his feet. Only his heart, faint and arrhythmic, pulsing like a distant echo underwater. In the nearby town, hours later, a search party followed the sheriff's tracks to the exact same spot. The prints ended mid-step, just like before. But this time, there was a fresh flashlight lying in the snow, still warm to the touch. Locals whispered that the road had taken another. A place where the layers between time and existence thinned, letting something reach in, or out. Whatever claimed the footprints didn't just take people, it overridden them from memory. Neighbors reported strange interference on their radios that night. Static punctuated by slow, rhythmic tapping, like a heartbeat encoded in noise. Some swore they heard a faint voice repeating coordinates that led straight to the road. Investigators marked off the area, scanning every inch with heat sensors, metal detectors, and drones. But each device malfunctioned as it crossed a certain invisible threshold. Inside that radius, batteries drained instantly, and cameras recorded only static haze. They dug into the snow, ground, and frozen soil, searching for the missing man. No body. No clothing. Not even his ID badge. Just a subtle circular burn under the snow, as if something impossibly hot had touched down, then vanished. The town's historian revealed old newspaper clippings from the early 1900s telling of identical disappearances. Footprints that ended mid-road, farmers who vanished mid-plow, lovers who disappeared mid-handhold. Some archives even describe channel interference, Morse code looping endlessly across military lines near that region. Transmissions with repeating patterns spelling one cryptic phrase, "He returned home." Yet no one knew who he was, or where home existed. The cold dawn, one final team arrived, a group of physicists investigating spatial anomalies. They claimed such disappearances could be dimensional echoes, distortions where quantum boundaries briefly fold inward. But their instruments refused to function too. The lead physicist documented everything, writing in his field log that this place emitted an energy impossible to classify. His last entry was short, scrawled hastily, "The footprints are still fresh, but no one's walked them." Weeks passed. Snow melted. Grass grew where the prints once lay. But each spring thaw revealed the same outline again, perfectly preserved, frozen in time's memory. The town eventually paved over the spot, hoping to erase the curse with asphalt and denial. Years later, on a summer night, a teenager driving along that same stretch stopped his car when he saw something strange. In the moonlight, a single wet footprint appeared on the dry pavement, then another. Then, just like before, they vanished mid-stride. Startled, he backed away, filming the phenomenon on his phone. But the footage later showed only static and distortion, frames skipping, colors bleeding. As if even digital memory rebelled against capturing what it wasn't meant to witness. Online forums exploded with speculation, glitch in the matrix, interdimensional slip, collective hallucination. Theories piled up, each more unbelievable than the last. Yet, no skeptic could explain the physical perfection of those halted steps. Local priests compared it to biblical reckonings, ascensions or disappearances by divine command. Others whispered of advanced technology, cloaked visitors passing through seams in time-space. Every angle led to the same chilling emptiness where logic ended. By the 2010s, paranormal investigators live-streamed from the site, broadcasting the patch of road that seemed ordinary by day but hummed faintly at night. Microphones captured ultra-low frequencies that human hearing couldn't detect, pulsing like hidden speech. Some say you can still hear the sheriff's voice faintly in the static, calling names no one remembers. Others claim, in the right conditions, the snow there never settles evenly, it forms faint human shapes waiting to take a first vanished step. Historians eventually removed the road's coordinates from public maps, and locals stopped mentioning it altogether. Outsiders driving through report GPS errors and sudden blackouts lasting precisely 6 minutes. Then everything flickers back to normal, as if nothing happened. No one remembers the victims' faces anymore. Even their families' memories fade inexplicably, leaving only a hollow feeling when asked about missing names. It's as though those people were never born, yet everyone senses that something is gone. Today, the road still sits in silence, occasionally visited by those drawn to mystery. They walk it alone, following invisible tracks, testing reality's seams. Most return untouched, a few never do. And sometimes, after storms, the footprints return once more. When winter settles again, the pattern repeats, the same distance, the same cut. Almost like a signature from another realm stamped into our world. And those who dare to kneel by the final footprint all report the same thing, a faint heartbeat beneath the snow.